Okay, so we are now moving forward with Nils, CEO from CASAFARI. CASAFARI brings transparency to the chaotic property markets by building the cleanest and most complete real estate database. Their property AI technology allows to collect, clean, deduplicate, and evaluate every property coming to the market. This way, real estate professionals are able to make instant underwriting decisions and source the best investment opportunities in real time. Please watch closely their pitch.
No, I'm not muted. So yeah. Thank you, Tomás, for introducing us. Thank you, Francesco, for inviting us, organizing this event. To bridge the flowers, I have some flowers in the background. And yeah, giving you right now an overview of CASAFARI. My name is Nils. I'm one of 3 founders of CASAFARI. And due to the fact that we have about 5-6 minutes for the presentation, I think it's at best if I guide you through the slides, and then from there we finish up with some questions. So let me see if my screen is shared. Do you see my screen?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome. So this is actually the presentation I was uploading. So it's our vision. Let me just get this out of the screen, this panel. Okay. Our vision is we want to bring transparency to the chaotic property markets. And if you can see on the map, these are all markets that we identified for us as potential markets to enter. So talking about chaotic property markets, it's big parts of the world. And to be precise about Africa, we didn't have a closer look into Africa, except for South Africa. But I believe in many African countries, we would find the same problem. And we do this by building the cleanest and most complete real estate database. And with this technology, proprietary technology that we were building in-house, we are able to collect, clean, deduplicate, and evaluate every property coming to the market. And by this, also sourcing the best investment opportunities in real time. Let's see. So, what we do as a product, we understood in the beginning. So this is over here. If you go on the bottom right, you see a lot of data coming to the market. And we collect all these data in a clean real estate database, and then we build applications on top of this. The first application we were building was a meta search with price comparison. Why a meta search? A very simple question. If you go right now to any kind of real estate professional, and you ask them, what is the amount of 2-bedroom apartments in Lapa in the market? Nobody can tell you. Nobody can tell you what is the actual stock of clean property in the market, how the stock was moving, what is the average price. So you don't find this level of clarity when it comes to data. And therefore we understood with the first step, we built a meta search for real estate professionals, in particular real estate agents, to start monetizing our technology and building up a bigger reach. So if I have a look at CASAFARI at the current stage, we have more than 10,000 real estate agents using our technology in Spain and Portugal, and with more than 10,000, I mean paying customers. So we were then building, based on the database, market analytics with heat maps, online property valuations, data sets to downloads, and in the end, even APIs with comparables. So especially when we talk about other segments than agents, consultants, private equity, real estate, investment funds, governments, developers, banks, and so on, everyone needs fresh real estate market data. This is a team behind it. So I'm one of the 3 co-founders. What we all have in common, it's not the first company we founded. You see, we have quite some track record. I'm right now in technology for 15 years. And that's also a reason why we invested almost the first 2 million euros into CASAFARI by our own funding. We also have a strong advisory board with some German entrepreneurs, also Ray, the founder of Unmortgaged, Ray Home. And we are backed by world-class investors, especially Bynd on the 2nd place, directly next to Lakestar, who was also taking part in the round. So we raised our seed round last year. And very untypical, we got Lakestar on board because they like what we do, they see the huge potential, and they see that we built the backbone of the real estate ecosystem in most of the markets in the world. Also, Eichener family, what is a former CFO of BMW Allianz, invested with a family office, Roundhill Capital, and many others. So again, that was our seed round. And talking about the market, real estate is the biggest asset class in the world, 280 trillion. It still remains like what you see, a pen and paper analog industry. It's the biggest industry in the world that still works like in the 1980s. Reasons are, especially outside of the Anglosphere, there's no contractual exclusivity, no access to public records, no historic sales and rental prices available, no MLS systems. That means a centralized system with clean information. And as a result, you don't have accurate property information, and also not a dominant marketplace in the market. So there's in the end no single source of truth. Exactly what I said in the beginning. If you have a look at the marketplaces, they have a lot of deduplicated, outdated listings. And even if you have a look at the blue area, there's a lot of property right now on the market that's not listed on marketplaces. And to give you one parallel to COVID-19, we saw that in the major marketplaces, there was a drop in new listings by more than 90%. So if you talk about Idealista, Immobiliare, and so on, we saw the overall market dropped also, of course, because there was less activity by 60%. But there's still a significant amount of inventory coming to the market that's not listed in these marketplaces. And on top, you have a lot of what you see over here, duplicated content. This property, by the way, we found about 60 times listed in one marketplace. And then, of course, polluting all the data that you can extract from there. To give you an idea of our growth, so the amount of properties, here the numbers until the end of last year. So we tracked already more than 40 million properties. And with sources, and this is a single source, like a website like Idealista, Immobiliare, Engel & Völkers, Remax, Sotheby's would be each counting as one source. And you see we do this already, we're coming close to 10,000 at the current stage. We do this on such a scale like nobody else. To give you an understanding, a website like Skyscanner or Trivago as a meta search is operating with about 300 sources. We are operating with what I said, about 10,000 in Iberia. And our vision is we want to source the best investment opportunities in real time. And we want to be able to deploy capital in bulk in the European fragmented residential real estate markets, because we understood as more opaqueness is in the market, as more chaotic the market, as bigger the arbitrage potential in identifying underpriced properties. That's it, basically. And I think I'm almost in my time and ready for questions.
Thank you a lot, Nils. Amazing presentation, as always. We have here a first question, which is, what is Idealista doing badly and what are you doing well? Because they are also an aggregator from multiple sources, and they have a huge team. So what's your main differentiation in terms of the technology you are building?
I mean, very, very good question and very valid question. One thing to understand, and it's very important, we are not a B2C marketplace. So we are not targeting end consumers, and we are not competing with an Idealista. If I have a look, and also Idealista, it's very good to mention them, because by our view, Idealista is, in terms of technology, the market leader when it comes to marketplace. So if I have a look into the Portuguese market, and there already the problem starts, you have Idealista, Idealista, Immobiliare, CASAFARI, BPI Espresso, Custo Justo, you have Quiero, you have Green Acres, you have Trovit, Mitula, and so on, a couple of marketplaces. Everyone has a fraction of the market, a lot of duplicated, outdated content, and nobody of them covers the entire market. And this is exactly what's CASAFARI doing. And this is a very big difference. So if you have a look at Idealista, think about Idealista, what's the business model? Their business model is to work with as many agencies as possible, and they're paid by the amount of listings. They don't have an interest in providing clean data. This would maybe enhance the user experience on B2C, but they wouldn't earn €1 more. And in fact, also real estate agents don't want to be mixed up. So to give you an understanding, and I don't know if from whom the question came, but if we talk about markets like Portugal, Spain, Italy, France, and so on, a property can be listed by more than 50 different agents. One property, 50 different listings in Idealista with different data, different square meters, different bathrooms, different locations, still belonging to the same property. And this is exactly the problem that we solve. Because if you go to Idealista and you ask someone in Idealista, based on clean data, how many apartments are right now in Lapa in the market on Bairro Alto, they cannot answer this question. Well, we can answer this question. We can tell you in every micro location how the market is developing in real time, and that makes a difference.
Okay, we have also another question regarding your business model, which is what is your revenue model? Do you charge a monthly fee for the data served?
Exactly, we need to differ. So what I said in the beginning, our initial approach was a meta search for real estate agents. So when I talk about more than 10,000 agents, means each of them or their broker or even the franchise on top, one of them is paying for each single user per month. Like you would say, it's an approach of a SaaS business or a DaaS, data as a service business. Right now in launching new applications on top of this, like market analytics, we target a different audience, like private equity real estate, asset management, and they have a different interest, or property valuation. There we are paid, if you connect with an API, per API call, that somebody says, I have a portfolio of assets, let's say 500 million, and I need to have constantly fresh comparables to evaluate my portfolio and to make quarterly reports. We are exactly the data source of this. So there we are paid by pure data API calls.
Okay, great. More macro level question from Luis Silva. So how do you expect the real estate market to perform post-COVID? Are you finding new opportunities in the market?
I mean, it's very interesting what happened, and we got a lot of requests from all different kinds of angles. I can tell you one thing. What happened in COVID-19, the market fell into a deep winter sleep or spring sleep. So there wasn't what we were in the beginning, what we thought that might happen was some distressed sales coming on scale. Distressed sales happen, significantly reduced properties, but not on scale. So if you have a technology like CASAFARI, you find exactly the ones, but you cannot say that there's a market correction and the market drops by 30–40% like we had in the housing crisis. What we see as an aftermath already when I talk around, there was first in the beginning like, oh, what happens, real estate, we need to have an asset class that's more liquid. But where to go? Stock markets, bonds? It's so much uncertainty right now. In the end, people come back and said, the best investment is real estate, because at least we have a backed up security. And there will be never a value that goes to zero. We can always have a rental yield behind it. So this is an understanding that we see. And what people say right now, and that's very interesting, they say, we don't want to tap into the same mistake that happened in the financial crisis, where someone like Blackstone came to the market like Spain and is right now the biggest landlord in Spain because they were absorbing all the underpriced assets. So there are a lot of people with a lot of money waiting right now to invest. And this keeps the market in balance and is not causing a significant drop. On the sales side, on the rental side, we see a significant increase on rental units right now moving to the market, especially in good locations like Lisbon, simply from properties that were before on short-term rental that are converted to long-term rent.
Okay, Nils, thank you a lot for sharing your vision and for the presentation. It was a pleasure having you here. And
thank you.
Yes, we are running out of time, so we need to pass to our next presentation.
Okay, perfect. It was a pleasure, everyone. Anna, Francisco.
Bye-bye, Nils.
Thank you, Nils.
Bye-bye. Bye.